It's going to mean a lot. These are two rich, traditional programs.
It's definitely a big game. It's going to be a lot of passion and excitement out there.
I've been waiting for this my whole life. I'm not going to lie to y'all. They are not like us.
We got to step up to the challenge.
Keep pushing for the next team.
We got to bring it to them just like they're going to bring it to us.
Your attitude determines your direction.
We want to smash everybody in front of us.
The harder it is, the more epic the story.
It's going to be a really good, just physical football game.
It's a primetime treat in the Palace on the Prairie. Michigan and Oklahoma have created elite legacies, but somehow they've only collided once on the football field, and that was a half-century ago. Long overdue and a special occasion tonight. You're watching the SEC on ABC. This is ABC's Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One. Beautiful, pleasant evening in Norman, Oklahoma. Welcome, Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit. Folks, we can't help it. We're down there on the field a minute ago, just watching Michigan and Oklahoma's uniforms kind of commingle. Unless you were watching a 1975 season in the Orange Bowl, you've never seen these teams play.
Unbelievable. It's the epitome of what we love about college football, just standing on the field, watching these teams warm up. You're looking at one end, all the tradition of Michigan. You look to the other end, and there's Oklahoma. It's just so good early in the year to get this kind of matchup. And honestly, it's a great measuring stick to find out where these two teams, after making a lot of effort to try to improve where they were a year ago.
Yeah, you can feel the anticipation on both sides. A lot of unanswered questions. Both teams need bounce-back seasons and expect that off real disappointments. Sherrone Moore and Brent Venables had to fix their offenses. They changed offensive coordinators, and they brought in new quarterbacks. Yeah, he's great here, an offensive lineman. But, 5 losses a year ago, only had 3 in the previous 3 seasons. So they change up coordinators, and they have a different-looking Michigan attack, and they signed Bryce Underwood, the all-world freshman recruit.
Yeah, the young freshman who does not act or appear to be a true freshman, but this will be his first start. It says second career start. First start on the road in this kind of atmosphere. He was flawless in his first game, played with tremendous poise, but this will be a different test to go against Brent Venables' defense. Brent Venables calls the defense. He's had a lot of time to be able to get his defense ready, disguise, try to affect the young quarterback. If I'm Michigan, get back to your roots and establishing the line of scrimmage, running the football, take some of the heat off of Bryce Underwood.
Oklahoma last year had some high points. We saw them beat Alabama on this field, but they finished 6-7, the second 6-7 season in Venables' 3 years, Kirk. So he made some changes really in different areas of the program, notably the offense. Ben Arbuckle, 29 years old. He was the Washington State offensive coordinator. They bring with him the quarterback, John Mateer.
Yeah, that's a great combination. You also see that we talked about he will be calling the defense now as the head coach. It's one of his strengths as a coach. And, look at his record all time against freshman quarterbacks as a coordinator and head coach, 21-5. And the reason is what I just said. He's very complicated. He gives a lot of eye candy, can affect the quarterback. And, I think it'll be interesting to watch that kind of a game within the game. On the other side, his own offense, you just touched on John Mateer, most sought-after quarterback in the transfer portal. Could have gone anywhere for a lot of money. Followed his young offensive coordinator here to Norman. If you saw him last year at Washington State, you saw him in the opener against Southern Illinois. This guy is kind of a Brett Favre, kind of a guy that plays with a chip on his shoulder, a Baker Mayfield type of guy. I love to watch him. He feels that every play has a chance, and he's going to have great leadership skills. And to me, not just throwing, but his feet. Design, run, and creativity will have to be big tonight if OU's going to win.
Great tradition of transfer quarterbacks here. The bar, as you said, is very high. You throw Baker Mayfield in there. So what do you like? You like the guy who's just turned 18 3 weeks ago, the #1 overall recruit, the generational talent, or the experienced guy, John Mateer, who's been guiding a program, backed up Cam Warren a couple of years? Can't wait to find out. Papa John's kickoff is next after these. Nobody expects more of Bryce Underwood than he does. Gave himself a C for the opening win against New Mexico. Expects to play a lot better tonight, but this is his first real test. John Mateer, almost 3,700 total yards. He's run and thrown for a touchdown in 7 consecutive games. A true dual threat, challenged tonight by 2 really salty defenses. And the Wolverines make their first visit to an SEC campus to play a football game. That's how rare this is. Sherrone Moore, back where he won a couple of Big 12 championships under Bob Stoops. Michigan and Oklahoma at long last collide in Norman.
The Wolverines from the University of Michigan against the Sooners of the University of Oklahoma.
We played some big ball games before. That's why you came to Oklahoma to play in games like this. You get your opportunity.
John Mateer is exactly what Oklahoma needed. A leader and a quarterback that can hurt you running and throwing.
People gravitate to him because of the passion that he plays the game with.
Touchdown, Oklahoma!
Nobody is like us.
Heavyweights from the Big Ten and the SEC collide.
Touchdown! Underwood has his first of many.
I feel like it's time for me to step up.
Became a leader on the team, and for a young guy, very mature, and he's still only 18 years old.
There is no game on the remainder of our schedule more important than the one you're going down to the tunnel to play today. Now let's go!
Boomer and Sooner dragging that Sooner schooner out of there. NASCAR giant Jimmy Johnson to the building. Would appreciate it. Good lap they turn. Good acceleration.
Here we come now.
And here come the Sooners. Can this defense, supported by this frenzied crowd, make it tough on this young quarterback tonight? They'll try. Jerome Moore, back in 2006 and 7, won Big 12 championships with the Sooners. They knocked Missouri out of the BCS championship game one of those seasons, and he's with Holly Rowe.
Well, Coach, you uniquely are positioned to know how hard it is to win here because you played here for the Sooners. What have you tried to share with your team about what it will take tonight?
Emotional consistency, we talked about that. They're going to make plays, we're going to make plays. We got to stay within the moment and play our game.
You have a young man that just turned 18 2 weeks ago at quarterback. How will he handle the noise and operate well?
Yeah, I mean, everybody else has got to help him, too, around him, right? And he's just got to do his job.
Thank you, Coach. Have fun out here.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
A nice visit with Stoops a few minutes ago we saw on the field, and Bob was a mentor to him.
Yeah, he told us, you know, he's pretty level-headed until he got into the stadium and looked right into the eyes of his former head coach, Bob Stoops, and he said he got charged up.
Underwood on the offense will wait. Michigan won the toss but deferred. So kickoff will be delivered by Beckham Sunderland. Jaden Ott, transfer from Cal, one of the talented running backs, who's back healthy tonight, standing in the end zone. And Sunderland hammers it into the back of the end zone. So here comes John Mateer. Game one, chance to get baptized against FCS Illinois State. It's a good FCS team, but it was pretty easy pickings after the first couple of drives misfired. He got going 30 of 37, Kirk, close to 400 yards. Did throw an interception, also ran for a touchdown.
Most important thing, third year in this system. You know, he follows Ben Arbuckle over. Great timing and anticipation. Very much a threat with his legs. Powerful, very strong lower half. You can see, loves to be able to pull out of tackles and doesn't get rattled. This will be a good matchup for him against this talented defense.
Empty backfield on the first play. And it's a quarterback keep, but he's dropped in the backfield. Derek Moore, one of those guys that goes back to Michigan's championship team in 23, came off the edge quickly.
You take a look at our impact players. Jaden Ott, who did not play. He's a transfer himself, coming over from Cal. He is healthy and able to go. He's in that first play. You'll see Lewis 9 on the outside. Big game last week. Derek Moore, who just made that play, Chris. Leader of this defense, the captain, 15 in the middle, Ernest Hausman.
5 receivers again, empty backfield. Michigan rushes 4. It's here on a slant and a miscommunication. It was thrown behind Deion Burks, and it's a quick 3rd and on now.
Yeah, I think Ben Arbuckle just wants to see his quarterback and the operation just kind of settle in. He's going up against Wink Martindale, one of the top defensive gurus in this sport in the NFL for many, many years.
Only a 33-year age difference.
Yeah. This Michigan defense is athletic, disguise well, and play fast.
Mateer from the pocket, right down the middle, and it's catch made on the one-handed grab by Jaron Kanak. And Caddick, the tight end, makes a beautiful catch. 31 yards.
Chris, he does a really nice job of working from here in the slot. Look how the safety split. What a throw on the line there. There's a great job by the former linebacker, Kennick, getting his hand up for that catch.
They'll play with tempo. Depending on how things are going, they're not going to go breakneck speed. They lose 4 in that play. The catch made by
what a
Sategna.
catch here with that left hand to go up. I didn't know if he could bring that down and then to be able to hold on to that as those split safeties submerge, and he holds on for that first down on 3rd down. And then Michigan steps right back up against the tempo you referred to, with Hill making a heck of a play.
Behind the 6 on 2nd down. Throws into traffic and a screen, and that's Sategna again. Gets back about 5 yards. It'll set up 3rd down long again.
Now Michigan identifying these threats of these quick throws and these screens, dropping it really 8 or 9 that time within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Free play, ball toss on the sidelines. Burke makes the catch. Deion Burks is down inside the 25. Michigan jumped off there. 21-yard gain.
Offsides. That's number 44. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Mark Wazowski in charge of this Big Ten crew tonight.
What a job here of squeezing this in. Michigan trying to disguise their coverage right here with the safety, TJ Metcalf. He gets out a little bit late after the motion, and because he's late to get out there, there's an easy opening without him getting rerouted outside. Easy to squeeze that one in with the safety coming over late and the receiver not getting jammed at the line of scrimmage.
2 explosive pass plays on this opening drive for Mateer. Design run. Makes a move. Zips another tackle. Shows his maneuverability there. Picks up about 8.
And this is what we talk about, the threat with his legs, especially they get down in the red area. You got to always be aware of this if you're a linebacker. Does a good job of disguising that, gives the lineman enough time to be able to pull around and be able to affect that play.
Handoff inside, and again, the negative play on 1st down. Trey Williams swarming the backfield, knocking down Ott.
And keep in mind, this is a Michigan defense that had 2 of the better defensive tackles, interior defensive linemen in the country a year ago, and Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant, both off to the NFL in the 1st round. So Trey Williams, one of the young men who will try to step in to help out. Number 0, the transfer from Clemson. You have Rayshawn Benny's in there, Trey Pierce, Damon Payne, who transferred over from Alabama. So a lot of bodies in there that they'll rotate.
3rd and 3 in the red zone here. That's Caddick in motion. It's a run from Mateer all the way, leaning right near the marker. It's going to depend on the spot. Ernest Hausman got him down, the leader of the linebacking core.
I tell you, Michigan doing a pretty good job. They were spread all over the field there. Good job of getting off of blocks. They didn't have the numbers, but Payne, 44, made the play there, getting off of that block. 4th
down, they're going to go for it here.
Yep.
They need just about a foot, it looks like. Javante Barnes, number 2, senior running back in the backfield. 2 tight ends. Mateer running all the way. Hard to stop. Goff leg drag. You talked about the strength and the forward lean. It's going to be a 1st and goal.
How about when you know it's coming and you're able to still be able to pick it up? Again, we will hear the right guard. He's kind of trying to get outside to be able to kick out. Barnes, the running back, leads his way inside. Just good job of getting that push by Oklahoma. That was a real weak spot for them a year ago. The offensive line, or a number of areas, they had their top 5 receivers injured, 12 different offensive line combinations.
4 new starters this game from the last game.
That's right.
These guys are getting healthier. Can they punch it in? Barnes sent out far to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Mateer takes a look on the move and just fires it out of bounds. You have pressure there from Etta, and Barnes was covered.
There's the experience coming into play. Don't do anything crazy. No reason to force that. Steps up into the pocket, gets away from the pressure. and then just throws it away to live for that next down.
12th play of the drive coming up. Mateer 4 for 6 with these 2 long completions, and he's run it 4 times. Red zone, not an area of success last year for this Oklahoma offense. Pop pass, Burks, turns the corner, Dio Burks, touchdown, Oklahoma. What a drive to start this game.
Yeah, they showed a little bit of everything on this drive with different formations, personnel groupings. I want you to watch the lead block right here by 2. Barnes does a nice job utilizing that. That's good against good with 15. Hausman trying to come over to scrape and make a play. But that's good blocking downfield by the receivers. Good job by 9. Lewis, the progressive pylon cam showing he gets across the goal line for a touchdown to finish that opening drive off for the Sooners.
Tate Sandell, portal guy from UT San Antonio, the lefty, knocks it through. Don't know if Oklahoma fans would have dared to dream their offense would start this well against this Michigan defense. The key was that can it catch on 3rd and long to get the drive going, and they punch it in. We will see. Bryce Underwood.
Physical back has really worked on his speed and fluidity. Saw him get out in the open space last week against New Mexico and take a couple long runs. They feel good that he can not only be tough, but also take it to the house if he's given the seam.
So the first 3rd down for this Wolverine offense on the road tonight. Play clock at 4. Underwood, easy throw. The catch made behind the line of scrimmage and going nowhere because Kendall Daniels got up to stop Haynes, and it's 4th down. Actually lost a yard on the play.
Now this time they motion him to give him a head start to get out there. Wine 44 reacts. This is just a great job by Oklahoma on the perimeter. Once Haynes goes out, you'll see the end. The defensive end, Wine, see that, feel that. Now he gives him an extra body out there. But look out on the perimeter. Look how they're attacking. Open that up, but make no mistake, he is a pure pocket quarterback that is a guy that has the ability to hurt you when he needs to with his feet.
3 of 4 in the early going. Haynes in the slot. Caught the ball, and Kendall Daniels hammered him immediately. It's another loss of 5.
Max Bredesen, who usually is a great blocker, I don't know if he just passes him off, but he lets him get by. And boy, did he time that up perfectly. That's the 2nd big play we've seen from 5 into Crimson. Big time hit, timed up perfectly, and they push Michigan again deep behind the sticks on 3rd down.
Did well to hold on to the football, but yeah, they need 14 this time.
Remember, last time they rushed 4, sat back in zone. Let's see if they do the same thing or they dial it up.
Jordan Marshall's in the game. It's deflected off the hands of Morgan just as he was trying to turn upfield and drop. And Michigan will stall after a promising drive.
It's tough against any defense, but let alone a Brent Venables defense. When you get behind the sticks, you get to those 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 14s. Defense is flying around with confidence. Even if he's able to secure that football, there's just too many jerseys around him. Not much of a chance there at all.
They're all over those underneath routes early on.
Oh yeah, flying around.
Satania back. Hollenbeck will try to duplicate the punt from earlier in the quarter when he pinned Oklahoma at the 5. High kick, and this one's got to bounce in the end zone, so not as well executed. Touchback. Final minute of this first quarter. Talk about Ben Arbuckle. It's been a quick timeline. 5 years ago, he's coaching high school football, but he had one of those minds that was spotted. Western Kentucky. Bailey Zappi broke some FBS records for yards and touchdowns when he was there. Cam Ward, brilliant year at Washington State, and John Mateer was a backup for 2 years, and then the package deal. They hired Arbuckle first, and then Mateer came along after that.
Yeah, and he is, 29 years old to be the offensive coordinator.
Wild.
At Oklahoma, and like you said, in high school football just a few years ago, and he likes to look at his defense. You know, he likes to spread defenses out and be multiple, like most people do. But
he got out of college in 2018. I know. Is that trippy?
Yeah.
Mateer On a slant, that catch is made by Keontez Lewis. Another guy had a big opening game, picks up 18 there. Mateer looks good.
Yeah, that's just great timing. He gets back to the top of his route. It's a little sidearm throw, but look at the accuracy. Perfect time there for Lewis getting into the middle of that defense.
Another throw in the middle of the field, but it's intercepted. He overthrew a man, and T.J. Metcalf's waiting for it. So a very sharp start, but a mistake gives Oklahoma the first takeaway of the night.
Well, we're just talking about his accuracy and how comfortable he looks, and you know, this time this is just a matter of him just missing. You know, he loves the in-breaking routes. We saw that last week. Ball sails on him, gets high away from his target, Huggins. He's open. He's got the seam right there. He just overthrows him right into the waiting arms of the safety, who says, "I'll take that. Thank you very much." First mistake of the night for either team, especially for Mateer, who's been playing well.
Metcalf, a transfer from Arkansas. They expect this Michigan secondary to be better as the season goes on, but again, inexperienced. They make a big play there. From the 38. It's Jordan Marshall, who will spell Justice Haynes. Sophomore from Moeller High School, the powerhouse in Ohio. Robert Spears Jennings made the stop.
Yeah, physical runner with the ability to get out in space and be effective getting downfield. But I'll tell you right now, Michigan's going to have to come up with a plan to attack Oklahoma downfield. They are not respecting that vertical thread, and they're trying to take away the running game and all the quick underneath throws from Bryce Underwood.
Oklahoma takes the opening kickoff, marches right down the field. Sooners gain 131 yards in the opening quarter, but Michigan back to work after the first turnover tonight. 7-0 Sooners in Norman after one.
An offensive line is trying to reestablish their identity after a year ago.
Haynes again as the Sooners crowd the line. They get a couple blocks on the edge. He makes a cut and runs through a tackle down inside the 15. McKenzie got him down, but it's going to set up a 3rd and short.
But what a job here of responding to the opportunity after that block punt, or the roughing the punter that gave them a new set of downs. He's taken full advantage of this, driving this ball deep into Oklahoma territory.
Wearing down this Oklahoma defense, perhaps 12th play of this drive coming up. Another 3rd and short. Throw incomplete. Little miscommunication. Looked like Donovan McCulley was blocking. There's a flag on the perimeter. Guillory was in coverage.
Chris, I'm with you. It looked like a block. That may be offensive PI. I mean, he never really turned his head to think about running a route. Just depends on if the officials thought that the corner, Guillory, locked up with him initially. But look, I mean, he's never turning to try to find the ball.
That's straight up a block. He was confused about what was going on with the play call.
That should
bring
be
in Phil Lamagne in this one. They're conferencing down there, this Big Ten crew.
The onus is on the offensive player, and he went right at him on the
No
attack.
foul on the play for pass interference. 4th down.
So that miscommunication on a 3rd and 2 will send out the field goal team. We've seen enough from this OU defense. Haven't had a ton of success. A little surprised he's not going for it, though, on 4th and 2.
Am I surprised?
Yeah.
I think at this point, in a game that's going to be a low-scoring, probably one-possession game, you need points.
Well, Dominic Zavada usually gets points when he goes out there to kick field goals.
And they get the ball to start the second half.
He's an All-American kicker. Bombs him from 50-plus easily. This is a chip shot of 32 to get the Wolverines on the board. And he hooked it. No good. Don't tell me the announcer.
Oh,
He never
oh my God. Oh, Chris.
I know, I'm going to hear about it, but
you're dead. You're dead.
Let's talk about his technique, and not what the announcer said. Mike Black is my spotter. He'll grade the technique on this one. An animated conversation over there. Underwood, on the left of your picture, with a teammate. Klein, who's not playing tonight, got involved, separating him.
Yeah, there was something when he came off. He was frustrated. He's talking to Justice Haynes.
Remember, he's
Klein's trying to get in there.
18 years old, true freshman.
You had a true freshman. You have a transfer running back from Alabama, just having a, just sort of little conversation to get on the same page.
I mean, Dominic Zavada is as reliable as it gets. That's a shot for him to miss a chip shot. And now Oklahoma, with 3:09 to go before halftime, gets it back.
Pulled out of the kick a little bit early there. Goes to show you, even some of the best in the country, it's all about their technique. Like you said, you're used to every time he goes out there, it's put 3 points up. See what Oklahoma does here with these last 3 minutes. Probably be predicated upon if they can pick up this first down.
And Jaden Ott. Short gain. Brandon Hillman, by the way, back in the game for Wolverines, made the tackle on that play.
Michigan all 3 timeouts, have the 2-minute timeout as well. Good to see Hillman back out there. He's been flying all over this field. You're talking about a physical safety. Man, he is laying the wood on these running backs and receivers.
Made a pick against New Mexico when they were only up 10 in the third quarter on a deep ball. It was a key play in that opening win. Flag down, ball pitched downfield over the head of Deion Burks.
Yeah, there was movement up front by Michigan. Looked like 95 Trey Pierce. It's a good job by the experienced Mateer going with that hard count on 3rd down, knowing he could get that 1st down.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Offside, defense number 95. The penalty is declined. Personal foul, hands to the face. Defense number 95, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Package deal for Trey Pierce. They'll, of course, accept the major penalty, which is the first of the night against Michigan. It's in the pit here.
Yeah, he's right here. Just a little movement. He gets the hands up into the face of the center.
Got it. Didn't last that long, but he made forcible contact for sure. Short pitch to Burks, who picks up about 3.
And Michigan defense looking over to Wink Martindale to get their call.
That'll be the 2-minute timeout.
The ball is snapped. They're still looking over there, so they caught a break being able to get in position there. I think that's what Wink was talking to him about.
So Oklahoma at their own 45, trying to add to. Talk about Littmos student section. Only one student section can claim the title. Section of the year. We'll take home the trophy this year. Ohio State did it last year. So Oklahoma dodged a bullet with the missed chip shot by Zavada. 2nd down from the 45. His penalties in the previous Michigan drive did not hurt them after all. Mateer across the middle, and it's incomplete. Trying to hit Deion Burks, who was streaking down the field. Zeke Berry in coverage off the shoulder pad.
Yeah, off the shoulder pad. I'd like to. Mateer loved to put a little bit more air under that and lead him downfield. He threw that a little more on a line, unable to get up and over the corner.
Maybe it was the helmet.
I think it was.
Yeah,
top of the helmet. A little more air. I think Hillman's coming over a little bit late. He might have been able to squeeze that one in.
So 3rd and 7. Michigan may get the football back with plenty of time. 3 timeouts. Mateer throws a dart, complete. 1st down inside the 45. Keontez Lewis.
This is where the continuity and experience of an offensive coordinator who comes over with his quarterback, you get in, still feel like you're comfortable in attack mode here at the end of the half.
Barnes breaks the tackle, bouncing off people. Javante Barnes, a tough run, rips off about 9. They're inside the 35. Clock's still running.
The counter play where they pull that right guard and right tackle, that opened up nicely, but effective running and great balance that time by Javante Barnes.
Is spotted for a 1st down.
Got all 3 timeouts, plenty of time here to work, especially in this style of offense with 3 timeouts.
Mateer running all the way, right up the middle, sidestep, and pick up about 8. Got a nice block there from Kanak, the tight end.
Kanak, his stop and go for a quarterback is just rare. Now at a minute, 3 timeouts. Again, very, very comfortable. They're running the quarterback. You know, half of his throws have gone to Deion Burks. So, you know, obviously you want to keep an eye on him if you're Michigan, whether you're bracketing him or keeping a safety to be able to help out.
I know they got time. They're being sort of casual here, though.
They are.
Down inside 45 seconds, 2nd and 2. Mateer on the move, looking to throw, and it's complete again. Deion Burks down inside the 5. The man from Detroit is hurting his home state school. Big impact in the first half. It's 1st and goal.
You mentioned how he's probably playing with a bit of a chip on his shoulder growing up in that region and getting a chance to go up against the Wolverines, who didn't offer him. Continue to go to number 4. That time the safety Hillman loses his feet after the catch. Plenty of room to be able to pick up those yards.
1st and goal. And they punch it in down here again. It's Barnes straight ahead.
Now they'll timeout.
Yeah, they have to. There's going to be 26 seconds to go. Burks targeted 9 times, caught 6, 91 yards, had the pop pass for a touchdown. And Oklahoma, with the way their defense is playing, trying to make this a 14-point lead before the break. Let's check in with Kevin Negandhi about what's big sequence here. Oklahoma successful in the red zone before. They found Burks on that short pass. So they got 2 timeouts to work with. Trying to build his 2-score lead here. Keeper, Mateer, touchdown Oklahoma. He's crafty, tough, and strong. And his first game as a Sooner really tested by an elite defense. A pretty good first half for Mateer. And Oklahoma, statement in the first half.
And we talked about in the open, if they were going to get out of here with a win, it wasn't just going to be about his arm. It was going to be about his legs, whether it was QB design run or his ability to scramble around. It's 9 times. Ben Arbuckle told us yesterday, I'm probably going to call it, I don't know, around 8, 9 times. But his first half already 9 carries.
You know, that's 8 games going back to his career at Wazoo that he's had a touchdown run and a touchdown pass in the same game. That's a heck of a streak, longest active in the country.
Now let's take a look at our AT&T connected clicker. See the safeties here and here, and he recognizes that. Watch how he has the instincts of a running back. I mean, that's taken away. Michigan doing a pretty good job with that defensive line. But watch the space open up on the backside, and he's able to locate that. That's just natural ball carrier instincts and good, tough running there. Nice job up front. Keep in mind this stat. Since Sherrone Moore's been the head coach at Michigan, they're 9-0 when they have the lead at halftime. They're 0-5 when trailing at the half. Down 14, there's Ben Arbuckle fired up. Mateer, for a guy that just got here, looks like he's been here his whole life.
You talked about the comfort level, the maturity. Michigan, by the way, Kirk, hasn't been held scoreless in the first half since 2020, the COVID year against Wisconsin. So 59 straight games they put points on the board in the first half until this one.
And I would say there were times last year, if you said that, it was about Michigan's offense just kind of struggling to find an identity. I would say in the first 30 minutes, what we've seen tonight has as much to do with the opponent and the Oklahoma defense as much as what's going on with Michigan's offense. They're going up against a really deep and athletic and aggressive defense here in week 2.
That's why I felt it was wise to be cautious about what you saw against New Mexico.
About if you're a Michigan fan, keep 2 things in mind. Number one, you get the ball to start the second half. And also defensively, Jayshawn Barham will be back. He's been out in the first half. His QB run's been effective for Oklahoma. And number one in the middle could help negate a lot of that.
His presence missed in the first half. Marshall, short gain. Michigan with 118 total yards in this first half, just 42 on the ground. Despite getting the only takeaway in the half, Michigan down 2 scores. They will get the football to begin the third quarter. But it's Venables and that Sooners defense and their experienced new quarterback. the story of this first half. And let's go check in with Holly and Brett Venables.
Well, Coach, how would you describe the physicality and execution for your defense right now? They've made quite a statement.
Yeah, no, again, our guys are flying around knocking paint off the helmets. It looks good.
You went for it on 4th down. You've kept the ball in your quarterback's hands. Why do you trust him so much right now, especially in the run game?
Well, John sees a lot. Again, he's a coach out there on the field. I'm most impressed with the offensive line, their physicality, their ability to protect the quarterback right now. They're in a really good rhythm on offense.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, appreciate it.
Yeah, the guys up front on both sides knew it was going to be that kind of a game, a physical game decided at the line of scrimmage. Edge, Oklahoma, they're up 14-0 at the break. Kevin Agadi, the guys in the studio.
An ankle injury, and their best safety, you talked about, Brandon Hillman, he was throwing up right before halftime, but I'm told he can return, but he is not at full strength.
Thank you for the detailed report, Holly. Michigan football here. And off and running. Haynes in the clear. Justice Haynes in a foot race. They will not catch him. Michigan, lightning strike on the first play of the half, 75 yards. Contained all half. And they, in the very first play, create a look and get a 75-yard touchdown.
Yeah, they go with that jumbo look again, that off-balance look, and had some movement before the snap. I don't know if that maybe affected the communication, but you got a couple backup offensive linemen, Blake Frazier and Lawrence Hattar, who were in there, and they ended up impacting the play on the backside.
Justice Haynes, through a slow first half, an electric play that perhaps could turn this Michigan's way. He was brilliant in the opener.
Yeah, let's take a peek at this. There's the movement, Chris. Look, there's the two backup offensive linemen. Remember, Klein is out. They're starting tight end, so their answer is to get some of these linemen. They're on the left. They're going to run this to the right, and then watch the cutback and watch how they sustain their blocks on that side. Remember, Oklahoma's been cheating those linebackers and safeties down. When you do that, if you can just make one guy miss or one guy's out of his gap, in this case it's 22, Bowen. And you got it back, as we've said, with Justice Haynes, who's always been known for his powers, worked on acceleration and that long speed. We saw it last week against New Mexico, and you see it tonight, first play of the second half to get Michigan back into this game.
One of the things skill position players do in the offseason.
I'm excited to play.
Did you grow up a Michigan fan?
I did. I'm not going to say that.
Did they recruit you?
No, Michigan did not recruit me, so I don't like them.
It's personal.
Yeah, it's definitely
you
personal.
said it was personal.
Yeah, it's personal.
Yeah.
The reason that it's personal is he grew up in Inkster, Michigan, which is not that far away from Ann Arbor. He said, they didn't recruit me. So he's been feeling some kind of way for a while now, and he's letting it show in his play. And they're going to him. They understand how motivated he is to make Michigan pay.
Bellevue High School, same as Underwood, but little different recruiting profile. This is Ott, and he's knocked out in the far sideline after about a 4-yard gain by T.J. Metcalf.
Right, he's had a big night, and he's using that pent-up frustration to play with an extra kind of step right tonight with what he's been able to do in different aspects, whether it's been underneath yards after the catch or getting downfield, getting him on the edge there on a jet sweep. Always plays with a chip on his shoulder. I think OU fans are just happy to see him healthy. You know, last year they're top 5 receivers. Top 5. You ever heard of that? Out for almost a majority of the year. So good to see most of those guys left through the portal. Good to see Burks back and leading the way for the Sooners.
Touchdown in each of the first 2 games. It's here on 2nd and 3rd. Off the hands. It's picked. Oh, it's dropped twice. Jair Hill had a chance to pick it off the hands once, and then on the carom, that would have been an easy pick. Couldn't hold on to it.
What a job here by Hill, not giving up on the play, because it looks to me that he is beat downfield. I mean, look at this. There's nobody in the middle of the defense. Lay that downfield. Instead, he throws it on a line. It allows Hill, with his speed, to make up for it. And then he doesn't throw it up and over him, so it's easy to be able to get his long arms up to be able to knock that one away. But
credit to Tanya for breaking up the potential interception right there, getting an arm in.
Great catch, good effort.
So it's 3rd and 8. Pressure. Mateer escapes and slings it downfield into traffic. Catch made. Sategna knocked out of bounds at the 5. Improvisational brilliance from Mateer that time. How did he escape?
Well, they dial up the blitz perfectly right here with Hillman. He's there to make the sack, but it's tough to bring this guy down. And then the arm strength and the accuracy downfield. Sategna just makes the play to knock it away from the Michigan defender Hill to keep the interception away, and then this time comes down with a great catch after that scramble.
You're right, that's back-to-back plays. You keep possession for your team. Oklahoma in the red zone for the 3rd time tonight. The first 2 trips resulted in touchdowns. So Zeke Berry out. That's not a position that they're blessed with a whole bunch of depth at this point, Kurt.
Now they brought Jaden Sanders into the game up at the top of the screen. They've got some injuries, not a lot of depth there.
2 tight ends on the left for Oklahoma. Blaylock is the back. Mateer running all the way. Gets free. Mateer. Touchdown, Oklahoma. That drive was all on the quarterback. And the Sooners stretch it back to 2 scores.
Mateer, we just talked about what a threat he is, and Kanak against Barham, what a matchup that is. It's a linebacker that's moved over to tight end and has a chance to try to help his quarterback out, because I was looking for one in white to make a play potentially on the quarterback if he decided to run it, and he got blown up there by Kanak, and a great block that sprung the quarterback loose.
Another effective design run. It's always been a part of Mateer's game. Michigan had to expect it. They haven't really been able to stop it consistently. 2 rushing touchdowns.
I think they know the threat and what Mateer can do. I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's good chance he's going to have his hands on the football. And this is who we really want to see what he could do down in this area. But watch this block and the job that 12 does coming around on his counter play. Bang, right there. I mean, he knows what his assignment is. He's a former linebacker, about 245 pounds. He knows how good number 1 is. Bang, what a play. Great blocking downfield, and quarterback's able to walk in for that touchdown.
Yeah, he's a threat catching the ball. As a next linebacker, you know he loves the physical blocking. They say he's really a huge tape study guy. Takes every part of the job, all the details seriously, and he springs the quarterback, and Mateer having a big night.
I'm not comparing him to Baker Mayfield. Baker's probably out there watching, but I'm just telling you the energy that he can bring to this offense, to this team, to this stadium. It's contagious. It's a belief. Tonight for 123. And expect to see them not just tonight, but all season, assuming they're able to stay healthy, being one of the better combination backs in college football, and keep them both fresh for 4 quarters by sharing those carries.
Haynes, the workhorse last week, back-to-back 100-yard games to start his season. First down, Underwood from the pocket. He'll be dragged down and sacked. Ran out of time very quickly. Sammy Amasigo and Jaden Jackson provided pressure from the middle, too.
Yeah, it's one thing to get to set the edge, but it's another thing to get a push through the interior. That's just brute strength, working right over top of the center, Greg Crippen. Jaden Jackson, true freshman a year ago, athletic, physical clearly, and gets Michigan behind the sticks. Interesting play call here for Chip Lindsey.
They better hurry, Kirk, they have to spend another timeout. Yep. Play clock's already down at 3-2, and yeah. Jerome Moore in this drive, down 8, has now had to spend 2 timeouts. QB comparison tonight brought to you by Dr. Pepper. You can see how busy Mateer has been. Dominant part of the offense, 30 pass attempts. He's also run it 15 times. Underwood, 121 through the air. A couple of crucial runs, but Michigan here now needs to make a play at 2nd and 15. Pressure, back foot throw, incomplete. They came after Underwood, and his throw was off target. Kip Lewis and McKenzie bringing the heat.
Boy, it's easy to sit up here, but if he had a little bit more time here, Zach Marshall, 83, works down on the wheel route. Nobody follows him. Just had another hitch, and would have been able to see that. That's a touchdown. That's a bust. Good to see Samaj Morgan back out there. Remember, Marlon Klein not out there.
Morgan one catch tonight for 19 yards. 3rd and 15. And it's batted down the line. Oklahoma's pressure affecting the quarterback again. Heineke's had a big ball game, harassing, chasing the quarterback, and getting his hand on that one.
Yeah, he does a good job of working around, and he's a guy that just is going to give you everything he has. 6'1", 227 pounds. He was at Ohio State, but not playing football. He was playing lacrosse. And he ends up transferring to Oklahoma in the last couple of years, and he's been effective linebacker for Brent Venables.
Is there more NIL in football than lacrosse?
I think so.
Probably.
I would think.
Catch made. Backs pedals and makes it at the 18. Ali Venables back calling the signals tonight.
Well, he not only is calling the signals tonight, but he actually was the scout team quarterback for much of the week. I went to practice on Thursday, and he was pretending to be Bryce Underwood. He was giving his defense all kinds of crazy looks, making sure they're in the right spots. During one defensive period, his defense had 11 interceptions, and I said to Brent, I said, be honest, were you just throwing it to them to gain confidence? He said, no, I was throwing it to spots, and they were in the right spot. And I think he was right, guys, because his defense had been in the right spots tonight. Good job by the scout team quarterback.
It's a quirky thing he's done since he was at Clemson. You know, you see him out there.
Oh, yeah.
Throwing the football.
Yeah. He's done that since I've basically known him as a coordinator. One of the few I've ever seen run the scout team quarterback.
It's here. Weaving around. Gets a block on the edge. Gets another block. Makes a cut. And Mateer all night long has been bedeviling that Michigan defense. Picks up 19 more on the edge.
Now this is the danger. Cameron Brandt on the outside. Watch the decision he makes to engage instead of holding his outside and holding the edge to a defense. When you're playing against a quarterback like this, you have no idea where he's capable of going. You've got to be able to keep him inside and not let him bounce. That time he got outside of Brandt for those yards.
Rush yards piling up. He's got 74 now tonight, Mateer does. That time, run goes backwards.
If you look at tonight, and Chris, you look at the big picture, the Oklahoma has as tough of a conference schedule as anybody in the SEC. I think they have one of the toughest schedules in the country.
No doubt.
And I think Ben Arbuckle, as he grows within this offense, they are going to have to find a true running game to complement Mateer. You know, he leads them tonight in passing, obviously, and also rushing. But eventually, they're going to have to find Blaylock and Ott and Barnes. They're going to have to find more balance in this offense as they grow into the SEC.
Yeah, you're right. It's very hard to sustain 16 quarterback runs week after week with the pounding you take in the conference. A lot of time. And Mateer throws it into traffic, but Kanak makes the catch. Right out of his hand, I thought, uh-oh, that's a dangerous throw, but he found the tight end.
I mean, you've got a 21-13 lead, and I'm all for this guy, and he's fun to watch, but that's about as risky of a throw that you're going to make in a fourth quarter with an 8-point lead as you're ever going to see. I mean, he just waits, and then flips it into coverage, in the middle of coverage. And
they do throw for it on 3rd and 1, and Keontae Lewis makes the grab. I know he's experienced, but he does have a little bit of an interception thing. If you look at his history, he's thrown a few.
But I guess I got to go back to our visit yesterday with Ben Arbuckle, and we were asking him, like, what's his wiring like? What's he like? What's your system like? And he was like, listen, whether we're up or we're down, we're going to have the same mentality. And that was a great example of it right there.
On the end around, Satania. He's explosive, doesn't need much to get going. Turns the corner, and just like that, picks up 8 before Mangum gets him down.
I guess it's just an aggressive mindset as an offense. Yeah, this is not an offense this year you're going to watch with with a new offensive coordinator that's going to, oh, hey, we got an 8-point lead. Let's run the ball. Let's be careful. Like the conventional wisdom working with an 8-point lead, I don't think that is really who Ben Arbuckle is. I think it's keep your foot on the gas is more of his approach.
I agree. 2nd and 2, you figure they're going to run it here. Blaylock, you're trying to shove him forward. Jayshon Barnum made the stop. It's going to be 3rd down at about a half a yard.
And this is like, if you're Michigan, this is a huge series for the defense. Obviously, at 8 points, already expended all of their timeouts. They've got to get a stop. Even a field goal potentially could do them in. Well, they had one timeout.
You said when they spent those 2 was going to put extra urgency on every series. That's what's happening here.
Yep.
Oklahoma using the play clock here. In this 3rd and about a half yard. I formation. Barnes is the tailback under center. They hand it to him, and he fresh set it down. 1st down at the 35. They can still chew on the clock some more now.
This offensive line, you know, we've talked so much about Mateer and Arbuckle and these new receivers and the backs. This is a lot of fresh faces on this offensive line, one of which is hobbling off the field here, the young freshman, Fasusi.
Well, comes from Nigeria, tremendous story. Stepping in and starting after missing the opener. He hobbles off on 1st down. Breaking free, Barnes. A workhorse tonight, picks up 9 more.
This potentially could be as impressive as anything I've seen tonight, other than a play or 2 from Mateer. Just when you have to be able to run the football against a very physical front of Michigan's, and you can do it. I mean, that's really, I think, taking that next step for this Oklahoma offense. That 4-minute offense when you know you got to run it and it still can be effective.
Again, makes it a very manageable 2nd down. Mateer dancing around and will eventually dive forward for a 1st down inside the 25. And the clock continues to run.
It's backyard football, and it's fine. It's organized backyard football with number 10. Just a fierce competitor. Bet you if you played him in ping pong later tonight, he'd whip your butt. I mean, he's that guy, right?
Yeah, forget about hoops or baseball.
Everything.
3-sport star.
He just has that mentality.
Barnes off the right side. Stop him behind the line. Holly?
Well, guys, I actually asked him many fun stories about himself off the field, and John Mateer said he's actually very good at pickleball, so we're not far off about the ping pong.
Okay.
He spends his time to relax, also competing.
Ferociously athletic sport of pickleball.
Have you ever played that?
Yes, I have.
You like it?
I'm a tennis guy. I like paddle, too, but yeah.
Paddle's fun.
Yeah. Now, pickle's fun. I don't think of it as being the most athletic sport. But I'm sure John could do anything. Behind the 6 here, 2nd and 11 inside of 340. Easy pitch and catch on the far side. That's Burks. Such a big impact in the first half. Quieter after halftime. Barnum stops him, but it sets up 3rd and 2.
8 runs, 3 passes on this drive. And again, what I love is gets back in that empty set, the gun, confidence that they have in a quarterback to be able to be not only an accurate throw, but make a safe, good decision. There's a trust there, week 2. And he delivers to give him a chance here, 3rd and short. Clock still moving.
Empty backfield, sure looks like quarterback run. Mateer, they grab his face mask and a flag comes in, about 4 of them. Trey Williams, they had him stopped, and they grabbed the face mask, and that's going to be a stinging penalty against the Wolverines.
Yeah, Michigan, it looked like TJ Guy had blown the play up. Will Huggins, a tight end, he just threw
Personal
him.
Foul. Face mask. Defense number 0. The penalty is half the distance to the goal.
It's going to be
Automatic
fourth down.
first down.
Yeah, TJ Guy made the play. It's going to be fourth down. They're going to at least attempt a field goal, and instead the face mask gives them the first down inside the 10-yard line.
The clock is as important as anything else right now, especially with Moore having to spend those 2 timeouts. Or choosing to anyway. Barnes, nothing fancy, just drives the leg forward for a couple more yards. Next time they snap it, it'll be right about the 2-minute timeout.
And that's 12 plays on this drive, almost 8 minutes of clock that they have chewed up here on this drive.
As you said, to run it when they know you're going to run it and still do it against a physical front. Impressive.
That's what I'm saying. That's like the next step. It's one thing to have Mateer and Arbuckle in this new offense, but we just talked about as they get into the SEC play, they're going to have to get gritty and tough, and kind of showing that here on this drive.
You can run this right down. You can see that the game clock and play clock are synced up. They snap it, and Mateer beginning to like come downhill in a hurry, and him is stopped. This is the 2-minute timeout. It'll be 3rd and goal. Hausman made the stop.
He took a hit there.
So they can set up in a chip shot field goal. If they don't find the end zone, we'll put the lead back to 11. Sooners just trying to finish off Michigan in this hard-fought battle on ABC. 13-play, 74-yard drive.
You know, they've had some great quarterbacks here recently. Go back to Bake and Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Spencer Rattler, Caleb Williams. You could throw Dylan Gabriel in there. And they needed a guy. They went out to the portal and found him. And it's not just what he's doing with his feet and with his arm. It's the energy and the attitude that he's bringing in. Plays with a chip on his shoulder. The crowd is reacting to him. He already owns the place, and he just got here.
Got to finish the job here in 3rd and goal. Backpedaling, flips it short. Catch made. Blaylock cannot escape the tackle. Barham tracked him down when he was thinking about getting to the end zone, and Moore hustles down to spend a timeout here.
That's man against man. That is a foot race and a good effort there by one in white. He came up a little bit. Ginger, you can see him there still kind of nursing that right leg. That's man-to-man coverage. Look at the range there of the 6'3", 245-pound linebacker trying to stay up with a true freshman.
He's 40 pounds bigger than the guy that he ran down.
Yeah. And great effort, because if he gets 2 more yards, obviously this game's over, and sets up a 4th and goal. Oklahoma to work over 8 minutes on that 14-play drive.
So 21 yards from an angle to make this a 2-score game. No problem. Biggest part of that drive, sure, they had 3 points. They took 8:27 off the clock. A grinding 15-play, 78-yard drive. That's the longest they've had under Venables as head coach here at Oklahoma.
Like I said, that's probably as impressive as anything that they've shown tonight, is the ability to run the ball when you have to. That's what great offenses do, and that's what Mateer did there.
All smiles, those big fellas that he worked so hard to develop chemistry with. Right, Arizona State goes down.
Dude, you feel the same juice I'm feeling in this stadium, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Long way to go, but I think
it's a
great
long
start.
way to go.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's been a while since you've kind of felt this here in Norman.
Well, different vibe than the end of the year. The end of the year, the season was basically lost, and they played for pride and beat Alabama in here. Marsh knocked down across the 25. That was a great performance. They spoiled Alabama's playoff, but you're talking about the beginning of the season when you're trying to set the tone for a new year, right? Yeah. Chick-fil-A bringing you the rankings, as we saw a lot of mismatches on paper, and that's pretty much the way it worked out. Clemson had to really fight from behind against Troy. A lightning delay in that game.
No one's talking about these guys. You watch these guys today? Man, they look good today. I know it's Oklahoma State, but
I think old Dan Lanning, it seemed personal against
they just look fast. feel like no one's talking about Oregon this year. It's like they're taking a year off. We need to remember they're still playing ball out at Eugene.
Well, we'll see him against tougher contests down the line. What do you think about Underwood tonight? Obviously, all eyes on him as a flag down at the line of scrimmage, by the way. 4-5 to start the game. Talked about his command since then. Before this play, we'll see if the incompletion stands.
Offside. Defense number 32 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's Thomas. But since then, Kirk, 3 of 14 for 70 yards. It's been tricky against this Venables defense.
I don't think anybody would necessarily be surprised. I don't think this is something you're going to walk out of here and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I don't think that at all. I think it's when you do well as a quarterback.
No, I'm just asking to assess it.
No, I'm not saying for you. I'm just saying I think there'll be some reactions like that from some people. I look at this as when you do well as a quarterback, you get too much credit. And when a team loses like this, you get too much blame. I look at this as if I'm Michigan, I'm scouting Michigan, who can beat me in the pass game? Forget the quarterback, besides Donovan McCauley. Like, that's where they're going to have to develop. That was an issue last year, and they're going to have to continue to see Morgan continue to get better. Goodwin, hopefully they get Klein back and healthy, but they're going to have to find weapons on the outside to complement their running game with Haynes and Marshall. But his quarterback's next level.
And he's going to get better and better. But I don't care how talented you are, how poised you are, how touted you are, how many guys they've surrounded you with. When you're a true freshman and you're playing on the road against good teams like this, you're going to have nights where you struggle. The growing pains are inevitable.
Absolutely.
I don't think fans always get that. They maybe expected him to come in here and light it up like they're playing, New Mexico again.
No, and again, we'll see as the year plays out. They went up against a really good defense, one of the top defensive play callers in the country, with a team that was inspired and ready to play.
To throw on the sidelines, I'll tell you the one thing that the teams on Michigan's schedule will look at against the blitz tonight. When Venables brought heat, he didn't complete a pass. They're 0 for 8 against the blitz. Those are one of those key analytics they'll look at, and I'm sure Jerome Moore and the offensive staff will study that.
Well, like I said, if you have people on the outside, on the perimeter, that when you blitz them, they can win one-on-one and separate, it makes people not want to blitz. But until you prove you can do that consistently, you're going to get your fair share of people that are not afraid to blitz you and take chances.
Escapes the pressure and fires it short, incomplete. Third down. Final minute, we should mention Jerome Moore about to sit out a suspension the next 2 games. It was a self-imposed suspension. The Connor Stallions signed, stealing, deleting text messages. So the next 2 games against Central Michigan and then on the road against Nebraska, he will not be able to be in the building throughout the week. That's a different penalty than what Harbaugh had to pay.
That's right. Yeah, Harbaugh just missed Saturdays.
So he can't return until the game against Wisconsin, October 4th. They have a bye before that when he can coach. That's going to be tough for him to watch. Sit out. Off this loss, you want to get right back out there and coach.
Yeah.
And he will not be able to.
That's a good point. Can they go back to McCauley?
Got a 4th down and about a yard here. And that's it. The Sooner defense has the final word. Omo Seago with a tackle for loss. They invaded the backfield all night. They stopped runners behind the line. They blitzed. They pressured Underwood. Oklahoma's defense is the story. Along with John Mateer.
Yeah.
Co-stars.
Yeah.
Co-stars tonight.
Yeah, that's fair to say. But what a fitting way for Oklahoma to wrap this game up, and with a tackle for a loss, and again attacking the line of scrimmage with their backers. Huge win for Brent Venables, not just tonight, but they put so much into this offseason with changes, with coordinator changes, with a lot of personnel, just changing the vibe, the energy, the DNA of this program. And a win like this can really springboard you into some big hopes for this year. They got Auburn coming to town in a couple weeks, Texas on the horizon, and obviously it's a big win for this program.
Jackson Arnold's return, ex-Sooner quarterback for Auburn. That'll be interesting. Quarterback matchup with Mateer. It gets serious, so they got Red River at South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Alabama. Missouri LSU. That's all that's left for them from October. Yeah, that's it. And Sherrone Moore returning to his alma mater comes short tonight. Could not contain John Mateer. He ran it 19 times for 74 yards and a couple touchdowns. Threw for 270 and a touchdown. And he's with Holly.
Right now. We're going right now. We're live on TV right now. What do you think about winning over Michigan, a game of blue bloods, a historic matchup, and you just won it, John?
We've been excited for this game. Thank you so much. For a long time, and I'm proud of these guys. I mean, we beat them, and we didn't play our best game with a bunch of turnovers and a bunch of things we need to clean up. I'm so proud of my teammates.
You said when you walked on this field last week to play, it was surreal. Tonight, you look comfortable in this building. How did you get comfortable so quickly?
I know that these fans have my back. These fans have all of our backs, and I threw a pick, and but next time I go on the field, they cheer me on, and I appreciate that so much, so Boomer.
You used your legs so effectively and efficiently tonight. They couldn't catch you at times. How are you able to mix that in with the pass?
It's dangerous. +1 run game is not good for defensive coordinators, and they don't like it, and I'm glad Coach Arbuckle trusts the ball in my hands, and I'm proud of the O-line and the running backs, tight ends blocking it up.
Speaking of the O-line, that long drive to end the game and eat up the clock, how do you describe that?
Yes, ma'am. That's what it's all about. I mean, it's not the flashy stuff and the big plays. It's the gritty, hard work and the urgency that we played with on that drive, and that's football. That's how you win.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
You love everything that he just said. Everything he just said.
I just shoot it into my veins. That's what we talked about. He did a lot of stuff that was fun. It'll be on SportsCenter and a lot of cool highlights. But that last drive where they were able to eat up over 8 minutes when Michigan knew they were going to run the ball, I'm with him. That's what stood out.
And he focused on what wasn't perfect. And he's right. They won this game -2 in turnovers. They had 3 big special teams miscues, including one of those turnovers, a muff punt, basically a roughing the punter penalty that prolonged the Michigan drive. Despite that, pretty convincing win.
Yeah, and what's great when you win a game and you have those mistakes is it's easy to get their attention, especially at week 2, go back into the film room and think, hey, don't listen to everything you're hearing, all these great things. Look at this film. We can still get a lot better. So that's the best thing for any coach. Anytime early in the year, especially, you go through some hiccups, you overcome them, you win a game. And for Michigan, it's a game you lose on the road. This is a good football team. They grew up tonight. Young quarterback grew up tonight, saw something he's never seen. They've got to get better around him if they're going to become a real threat in the Big Ten.
Michigan shorthanded some key pieces tonight, either out injured or couldn't play at all. So they'll want to get everybody back and healthy. I agree. They show a lot of promise, but the night belongs to Oklahoma. A fun night in Norman for Brent Venables and his team. And as you said, John Mateer walking around like he owns the building, and why not? Great tradition of Oklahoma quarterbacks who've got moxie. Add this guy to the list, a winner. 24-13 is the final in Norman. Tonight's game produced by Bill Bonnell, directed by Jimmy Platt. Hard work by all of our crew here in Norman. We appreciate them. On the West Coast, your local news over most of these ABC stations. For Kirk and Ollie, Chris Fowler saying so long from Norman.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the South